Hi everyone, especially to our professor, Ma'am Yads Annabel. Good evening, ma'am. Actually, my report is the last but not the least group presentation. So this is your presenter, Pepito Asentista. So my topic that I'm going to tackle is that performance management and employee enhancement. But to begin with, I'd like to ask you, what is performance management? So performance management is a continuous and systematic technique for ensuring the achievement of organizational employee performance and efforts to meet the established goals. Performance management creates a new round communication structure between managers and employees to help the company meet its strategic goals. Example, performance appraisals, key performance indicators, and management dashboards are example of performance management processes or tools. Performance management is essentially what organizations do to become more successful and stay ahead of their competitors. Performance management is an essential component, or in Tagalog we call it sangkap, of HRM. It is used to create a work environment in which employees are encouraged to give them all and produce high quality work. HRM encompasses all functions such as goal setting, regular performance reviews, instant communication among team members, for coaching, providing performance feedback, and reporting in order to create better employee training and development programs. So the next slide is the performance management versus performance appraisal. As stated here, performance appraisal is the people frequently confuse performance management and performance appraisal. However, performance management is not the same as performance appraisal. It is an extension of performance appraisal following performance feedback or review. So the following are the 3 additional steps in performance management. So we have letter A, performance evaluation. So letter B, data achieving for performance. So letter C, making use of appraisal data. So let's proceed for the types of performance management in HRM. The performance types are determined by the vertices in the performance appraisal or review system. It can range from an employee self-evaluation to feedback from various members of the organizations, such as managers, peers, and in some cases, customers and investors. So among the type of performance management in HRM, we have number 1, overall evaluation. So it is continuous communication about performance is maintained between the manager and the employee throughout the year in this type of performance management. They communicate about predetermined goals, objectives, and performance feedback, as well as setting new goals. Secondly is 360-degree evaluation. But what is 360-degree appraisal? An employee's performance and behaviors is reviewed by their manager, peers, and the manager of the employees they work with. Next is that appraisal of technological performance. An employee's technical expertise and capabilities are throughput and identified by the manager. This appraisal is totally based on the technical knowledge of the employee. Next is that employee self-evaluation. The employee compare their own performance to the expected standard performance. The manager meets with employees to discuss their performance successes and failures. So next is manager performance and evaluation. So this system is intended for manager evaluation. The feedback from team members and clients is gathered here to evaluate the manager's performance. Next is review of project evaluation. This is regarded as the most effective method of determining an employee's performance at work. Following the completion of its project, the employee's performance is evaluated and another project is assigned to the employee based on the review. So next is the appraisal of sales performance. At the start of the year, the employee is given a monthly or yearly sales target. At the end of the fiscal year, the salesperson is evaluated based on the set target and the employee's sales results. Setting a realistic sales target for the employee is critical in this system. So that's all about types of performance management in HRM. So let's proceed for HRM performance management and purpose and objectives. So first is it enables employees to meet the work performance standards that have been established. Second, it aids in determining the skills and knowledge required to perform a job effectively. Next is it is a critical factor in motivating employees and increasing employee empowerment. It serves as a channel of communication between the team and the supervisor. It increases the transparency of the goal-setting process. Next, it identifies the issues that contribute to poor performance and helps to resolve them by making recommendations for development and interventions. So last, it provides information for a variety of critical decisions, including promotions, strategic planning, succession planning, and performance-based compensation. So another slide is the system's goals are as follows. So among the system goals, we have performance. It conveys to the employee the improvement required in the performance to meet the set standards. The purpose of the PMS is to develop a systematic feedback mechanism. So next is development concern. It addresses the organization's development issues. It recognizes the needs for skill and knowledge development in the organization and facilitates appropriate training programs. So next is documentation concerns. It creates a database for the organization in which all employees' information is stored. This database stores information about the employees' performance, level, skills, knowledge, and expertise, and regular rewards. The advantages of the performance management system. So we have here as follows. First, the documentation. A performance management system can help you create a performance document for each employee for the current fiscal year. This paper can be kept in an employee file to cover the employee's performance graph over the years. So next is structure. It establishes a formal framework for communication between the supervisor and the employee. It necessitates that supervisors and employees set aside time to discuss performance and devise a solution to improve performance. So the third one is feedback. Employees. Employees are frequently interested in receiving feedback on their performance in the organization. In this case, the performance management system requires the supervisor to provide timely performance feedback to the employees. So next is clarify expectations. Managers can use a performance management system to clarify the performance and behavior expectations that employees should understand. Annual planning. It is critical in the annual hiring, training and development practices and goal setting. Next is motivation. The performance management system as part of a comprehensive compensation strategy is very useful in motivating employees to improve their performance. So the next slide is the disadvantages of the performance management systems are as follows. So first, it creates negative experience. If the performance appraisal is not done fairly and feedback is communicated incorrectly. Negative experience for the employees. Time consuming. It is extremely difficult for managers to evaluate and manage the performance of hundreds of employees within an organization. The procedure becomes time consuming and ineffective. So next is natural biases. Managers face enormous challenges in evaluating and managing the performance of hundreds of employees within an organization. The procedure becomes inefficient and time consuming. The most important component of the performance management system is performance feedback. The organization employs it in the following ways. We have areas to improve. Management and supervisors provide timely information to employees about areas where they can improve their performance. It includes suggestions, methods, and coaching for improving performance. Next is game plan for improving. Feedback provides motivation and direction in order to develop a game plan to improve performance. Next is achievement and accomplishments. The feedback in a performance management system includes both positive and negative information about employee performance. Managers can declare a team member's achievements and accomplishments in public meeting or on a common communication platform to motivate the performing employee to convey the negative feedback to the employee and one-on-one meetings is recommended. Next is attitudes and behaviors. The attitudes and behaviors of an employee are also addressed during performance management. Managers put forward the favorable behavior expected from an employee to make a teamwork succeed. The upbeat attitude of the employees keeps an organization thriving and inspired, as well as their employees' bottom line. So the last one is the year's objectives. Managers discuss upcoming challenges and work responsibilities with employees during yearly feedback meetings. Employees are given the new goals and objectives for the coming fiscal year. In the performance feedback meeting, the employees' expected standard performance is also communicated. So let's proceed for the examples of the effective organization performance management. So the regular performance management system sometimes does not provide the expected results. Cargill Incorporated introduced the everyday performance management system, which acted as a turning point for the organization. The system is used for on-job conversation, which is a part of the feedback and daily work encouragement for the employees. So the following are the principles of the everyday performance management system. We have first, effective performance management is a continuous process, not an annual event. Letter B, the quality of performance can be predicted using daily activities rather than feedback forms. Letter C, the relationship between the employee and their manager is the most important aspect of an effective performance management system. So the last, it is critical to design a flexible performance management system to meet the organization's various business needs. So according to Cargill's leadership team recognized that in order to see a visible difference in performance, several performance management cycles must be dedicated. The performance management process was implemented with the participation of senior leaders and the employee. So let's proceed. The HR team of Cargill keep special focus on letter A, encouraging managers who perform day-to-day performance management by providing regular rewards. So next is documentation of best practices and lessons learned during the implementation of a new performance management system in the organization. So the letter C, the team were held accountable for the organization's day-to-day performance management implementation. Special efforts were made to develop the skills needed to implement the new performance management system, such as feedback delivery. So the last one is that special efforts were made to develop the skills needed to implement the new performance management system, such as feedback delivery and effective two-way communication and coaching.
So, good morning everyone. My name is Lisa Mary Canunzi. For today's video, I'm going to discuss illustrate the performance management process of the government sector and the non-profit. So, ang first illustrate na ko is ang government sector. So, before that, ang performance management is an ongoing process identifying, evaluating, and developing team members' performance aligned with organization strategic goals. Thus, performance management for government is the process which government review and evaluate their performance in order to inform future decisions using the key performance indicator. So in government sector, there are 4 stages. First, the planning, the monitoring, the developing, the rating, and the rewarding. So first is the planning. Ang planning DI means setting performance expectations and goals for groups and individuals to channel their efforts toward achieving goals. For example, getting employees involved in the planning process helps them understand the goals of the organization. So, planning includes what needs to be done and why it needs to be done. Ang next kay ang monitoring. So, ang monitoring will means constantly measuring performance from providing ongoing feedback to employees and work groups on their progress toward reaching their goals. For example, regulatory requirements for monitoring performance includes conducting progress review with employees in which their performance is compared against their elements and standard. Third kay ang developing. So developing means increasing the capacity to perform through training, giving assignments that introduce new skills. So for example, providing employees with training, development opportunities, and helps employee keeps up with changes in the workplace. So, ang next, ang rating o ang rewarding. So, why is it rating includes in the process? It is because from time to time, organization find it useful to summarize the employee's performance. Ang lastly kay ang rewarding. In effective organization, rewards are used as well since rewarding means recognizing their employees for their performance and acknowledging their contribution to the agency's mission. So in non-profit organization, there are 4 stages, which is the plan, and the second is the strategy map, the third are the balance scorecard, and the fourth are the review and access. Before that, ang non-profit organization di ay focuses on achieving social missions and balancing cost efficiency with program effectiveness to help realize the best possible social returns. So in a stage 1, which is the plan, with an understanding of the organization, mission, vision, the management team can work with the board to develop strategies for success. Nevertheless, effective planning sets the stage for the non-profit organization to begin preparing the strategy map. So, ang stage 2 kay ang strategy map. So, ang strategy map is an illustrative depiction of an organization's strategy. Thus, I will design strategy for attracting and retaining funders and volunteers is critical to the long-term success of the non-profit organization. Ang stage 3 kay ang balance scorecard. So, ang balance scorecard likes the strategy map, which is in the stage 2, are relevant within the NPO sector. So, nevertheless, after completing a strategy map, an NPO can create a balance scorecard using the following 4, which is they identifying the measure, assessing the weights, balance measures, and speak a specific target. Lastly, ang stage 4 kay ang review and access. This final stage is where management takes the information from the balance scorecard, evaluate the results, and draw conclusion to provide action. So in conclusion, the non-profit organizations use, same as the government, use key performance indicator, muna siyang metrics that will tell you how your non-profit is operating and whether it is hitting the goals. So, and as well as non-profit organizations use the fundraising, donor retention, email marketing, social media networking, and among others. So, unsa man di ang benefits sa performance management process? Ang main benefits sa performance management process for government and a non-profit are deeper understanding of success and missteps and the opportunity to change course. So, how to evaluate government's performance and the non-profit? In private sector organization, the measurement of success is often financially based. So, in the other hand, to evaluate the government performance, many other factors come into play. Among them are the numbers of residents served, positive or negative changes in the priority. So, therefore, in order to evaluate government performance, local leaders must first decide which organization goals they want to set them and how to achieve them. So lastly, both government and non-profit organization use KPI, which is the key performance indicator, to measure the performance process of it.
So, hello everyone, good evening. So, my topic is all about analyze employee enhancement process. So first, the term employee experience has a broad meaning encompassing all interaction an employee has with the employer. It's also one of the most valuable investment that you as a manager can make. A strong employee experience strategy, I like any other business initiative, is designed to improve an organization overall performance. So, muna siya analyze employee enhancement process. So, ang analyze employee have 9 components. First is deliver in excellent communication. Second is respond to feedback. Third, focus on employees. Fourth, provide meaningful work. Fifth, make management supportive. 6, create a positive work environment. 7, offer growth opportunities. 8, cultivate trust in leadership. 9, use the leader tools. So, first one is deliver excellent communication. The key to improving relationships with your employees is the same as any other relationship communications. Muna siya mga keys sa deliver excellent communication. So, The second is respond to feedback. The best way to know what your employees need from you is to ask them and then to listen when they respond. So, as a manager or as employee is mamina dito sa itong isikitaw. Dili rata magpakataas kay abi na kanata sa higher level. So, as a manager or employee is kanang level ra jud ba? Ana. And the third is focus employees. This strategy might sound like a no-brainer, but it's important to focus employee experience at various steps of employer life cycle. Muna say focus on employees. So fourth is provide meaningful work. Empower your employees by allowing them to shape their work environment in ways that help them perform at their best. Hire autonomous people, don't overreact them mistakes and give your employees the tools they need to reach their goals. As a manager is kailangan level ang isig ka tao or isig ka employees para dili sila as para ang dagan sa usa ka company is hapsay ani. So the fifth one is make management supportive. So great managers make employees feel supported during day-to-day operations. Great managers also provide coaching for employees by giving frequent feedback, encouraging employees to learn from others, building them confidence, and sincerely asking how they can help an employee achieve the goals. So, no siya make management supportive. So, the sixth is create a positive work environment. A positive work environment is a result of combination of factors like flexibility and diversity. So as a flexibility is environment allows employees to work in their preferred environment of their preferred hours. So 9 components of analysis employees is I7 is offer growth opportunities. Employees feel that employers offer good opportunities for growth and development. This is an alarming statistic since findings also suggest that high-performing employees will only remain in jobs that challenge them and provide meaning. Offer growth opportunities. And number 8 is cultivate trust in leadership. In order to fully trust your organization leaderships, your employees need to be aware of its mission and purpose. Communication from top managers should always be honest, transparent, and inspiring. As a leadership is kailangan po transparent ka sa usa ka tawo nimo. And the last one is use the right tools. Currently, there's a huge variety of ways to improve the employees' experience, ranging the delivering excellent communication to providing employees with a meaningful work. And that's all my report.